Pre-production. When working on my pre-production, I was able to gain some perspective of the tasks I can do for my FMP. From the variety of options to explore, I chose the following. Options 2, a demo recording of a song, and Options 3, a demo video of music to the moving image. From working on these two options, I understood that I'd be best off creating an EP instead of writing a piece of music to the moving image. I came to this conclusion due to the fact that there were many difficulties when producing music to a scene. For example, copyright laws may prevent me from using a scene from a film, thus preventing me from using my project in my portfolio. Another factor for my decision is that I feel that I won't be able to express all my musical capabilities, as a scene may only display one or two emotions. Section 1. Context. In this section of my portfolio, I explore what skills I have acquired from each unit assignment set over my time at ACM and how I intend to implement them into my FMP. Units 1 to 4, Skills Portfolio. This assignment educated me on recording an artist or band as both a producer and a sound engineer. My understanding of the processes within music production were improved drastically towards the end of this assessment, which gave me the confidence when recording an artist or band. Units 5 to 6, Live Lounge. This assessment taught me how to record a live band made up of 3 or more musicians. It gave me a clear understanding of what mics should be used, where to place them, and how to utilise the DAW in the scenario. For my FMP, I plan to use this knowledge when recording a musician in the studio. Unit 7, Interview. Although the information taught in this assignment isn't directly useful for the production of an EP, I was able to obtain the skill of explaining processes effectively and clearly, a skill which will be used when I document the development of my EP. Unit 8, Final Project. For this project, I was set to produce and mix one song. I had to document its progression in the form of session diaries, where I'd explain how each part was created. I felt this project prepared me for the creation of this EP, as I will need to produce and document the entire process similar to this unit. Towards the end of this assignment, I learnt that certain tasks don't go as planned and that I should allow a degree of tolerance when planning my final major project. I considered this when developing my action plan. Units 9 to 10, Specialist Research Project. From this project, I acquired the skills necessary to develop a question and collate both primary and secondary research to demonstrate my understanding of the topic and answer the question. With my chosen question, I was able to gain a better understanding of the methods and techniques used to compose music to film, whilst my demonstration composition allowed me to experiment with my new knowledge. The skills gained from this assignment I plan to utilise are that of getting feedback from an audience and obtaining other resourceful research. And lastly, Unit 11, Identifying Progression Opportunities and Application Methods. This assignment gave me the opportunity to create an official profile portfolio alongside further developing my CV for music-related jobs. I chose to create a purely professional email, update my initial SoundCloud account, and create a Facebook and Instagram page. From uploading my EP to multiple platforms, I will more likely be able to develop a bigger online audience. Section 2, Aims and Objectives. My main aim for this project is to create a 3-track EP demonstrating what I am capable of producing through a use of skills gained from my time at ACM. For my personal aims, I wish to further develop my songwriting and production skills as the project progresses, while learning from other producers and artists. As I would like this EP to gain some recognition from professionals within the industry, I think it would be great to engage and connect with an audience and develop some relationship with people as an artist. By building a relationship with people that listen to music for their own entertainment, when I leave ACM, I would feel that I had gained more from these 2 academic years, as I would be leaving with a group of people interested in my work as a producer and an artist. Section 3, Research. As I progress through my project, I will need to obtain some elements of research. From the research, I plan to gain an understanding of who my target audience is and the skills and techniques I plan to use in my work. From the production skills research, I plan to find new techniques gathered from both primary and secondary sources and implement them into my own work. Where I will be researching to find a target audience, I will produce a survey released to a small focus group containing questions and some examples of my music. This will help me to understand who I'm making music for. Primary sources I plan to use are tutorials with ACM production tutors, collaborations with other producers and musicians, and as stated before, surveys. Secondary sources used will be primarily from YouTube tutorials, Google Scholar, JSTOR, which will provide me with online academic papers that are valid and reliable, and other websites such as Sound on Sound. I will also look at current artists I've been listening to, like Tame Impala, The Weeknd, and Glass Animals for inspiration. From analysing their music, I will be able to see what is needed to create and complete a track in their individual styles. I feel that by researching into these areas, I'll be able to produce a well-constructed EP similar to the artists I look up to. Section 4. Problem solving. In the progression of my project, I understand that I will be confronted with problems, some of which will disturb the process of developing and completing my EP. In my proposal, I explore some of these problems. Using samples. To avoid any issues when using samples of other people's music, I will need to research into copyright laws and find a solution to overcome any problems that may prevent me from using them. Room bookings. I will make sure to book rooms in advance so I am ensured a place to develop my EP. Leaving it to the last minute is risky and unprofessional, therefore I will try to book a week ahead. Lost files. I will also ensure I back up all my projects and documents to a hard drive or memory stick so that if I lose a file or it becomes corrupted, I will have a duplicate to fall back on. When in the studio, I will have to be aware of the following problems. Cable management. Keeping all cables neatly tucked away so no one will trip and hurt themselves. The equipment. Before using any piece of equipment, I will check to see if they are working well and won't cause any issues to the health of myself and others. And lastly, pre-production checks. This falls into the equipment checks. I will go through the equipment I intend to use and check if everything is working and is safe to use. For example, zeroing the studio desk, removing any patching left from previous producers. Section 5. Planning and production. For my project, I have created an action plan which will help guide me through each task deadline. As the action plan focuses on the tasks within creating an EP, I have documented the following main tasks I plan to achieve in the time I have. Starting tracks 1, 2 and 3, starting initial research, target audience and production techniques, etc. Project checks, checking through written work and making corrections. Project task deadlines, and developing an EP cover image. I understand that I may not meet each of my own deadlines, so I plan to follow my action plan mainly as a reminder and guide of the topics to cover. Section 6. Practical skills. With the development of my EP, I plan to utilise many technical skills acquired over the past 2 years. Below are some possible skills I plan to use. Creative sound design, recording sounds from cars, birds, and everyday sounds to utilise in my track. Mixing and mastering techniques, balancing each track, checking for unwanted sounds and adding in effects. Recording a variety of live instruments, i.e. drums, electric, acoustic or bass guitars, and vocals, etc. This will involve the use of different microphone setups and understanding how to set up the mixing desk, balancing each track and then recording it, and sampling, utilising elements of other people's songs in my own work. At the end of this project, I hope to have gained a variety of useful skills and improved the ones that I've already learned. For example, creating and publishing an EP. Since I have already released my music as single pieces of work, working on producing a collection of multiple tracks, an EP, will test my ability to produce songs in a similar style and finish them within a time frame. I will also have to utilise more skills as I will be producing more content. Therefore, with this experience, I hope to gain a better understanding of when and where I should use my skills. Section 7. Evaluation and reflection. During and after the completion of my project, I will analyse my composition and compare it to tracks that have influenced me, looking for similarities in both style and construction. For product performance feedback, I will periodically send out demos of my work for independent critique. The feedback will come from peers, tutors and friends and will help me develop my music accordingly. Questionnaires will provide me with project-specific feedback. After I complete my FMP, I will review and analyse areas that were successful and areas that were not. From this, I'll be able to see what I can improve on for future projects. In order to see whether my work has been successful, by sharing my work with a selected group of musicians, producers and tutors, I can appraise their post-production feedback and see if I have addressed their comments. Furthermore, as I collect critical responses, I will produce a spreadsheet of data collected to which I can analyse in my end evaluation.